And welcome back to the Flow Sports Fix on this Wednesday, March the 31st. We've still got hockey to come, the point post, and looking at a referee apologising, a dedicated channel, and a young gun. Lots on the Sporting Fix for you today. But right now it's time for the Flowman. He's looking at the moment at the SANFL.
The SANFL kicks off on Good Friday with 4 games. Norwood hosts Port Adelaide at the Parade on Thursday night, but there's more football to come on Friday, which is the Port and Crows SANFL sides back after being expelled during the pandemic-affected season. And a little later in the program, there's a SANFL fixture that's going to be played on the July weekend down at Victor Harbour. South Adelaide having its home match there, what they're calling the Country Round, as the South Australian Country Football Championships will be there. And we're hoping the Flow commentary team will be part of that this year. Looking at the question, though, of games being played over Easter, we have a conversation with the stat man, yours truly, and Clayton Best to look at the appropriateness of this. But what about this Country Round? Do you think we should be fostering a far greater number of SANFL games in regional locations? I mean, would Port Lincoln be a good place for Norwood to host a game? And then you think about, say, Clare hosting a Woodville West Torrens match, maybe North Adelaide playing at Crystal Brook, or even if you're looking at, say, Glenelg playing at Narracourt, or Sturt playing at Murray Bridge. Just the factor here that we've got the SANFL sides, we've got the country zones. Why not in the Barossa, for instance, at Tanunda Oval, have Central Districts host a game in the home and away season? Just think that it would be something SANFL could look at, and I think it would be great if they picked a weekend where all the league associations had the weekend off. And maybe it is with those country football championships. How it can be done needs to be obviously talked through. But if the AFL and the SANFL are really serious about grassroots football, then maybe we should see more competition matches played in regional areas, and to develop kids, and maybe then those pathways for kids to think about how they might be able to get towards one of those SANFL clubs and even an AFL career in the future.
100% agree with you, Flowman. That's what we need to see, more of those competitions like the SANFL going out to regional centres, and even the VFL. We need to see it happening, because that's good. The kids can see their local guys playing, and, you know, dad can be doing this and their brother and whatever. But then when they see those other teams that next level, it gives them that inspiration. So we need to see more of that. That's something that I think is very important, and a further conversation we need to be having here on the Sports Fix. But there are other competitions that are playing over Easter, and here's the Flowman to tell us about those.
Most football gets started after Easter, so we have a look at our Sport Fix, and a topic of conversation that Clayton Bester has discussed with both the Statman and yours truly about the appropriateness of playing country sport over Easter. And there are some competitions that are doing that this weekend in regional Victoria. We have a look at the Colac District Football and Netball League. They have their traditional game on Saturday, April the 3rd at Lawn. This is where at Stribling Reserve, the locals at Lawn on the Great Ocean Road, with all the tourists around the place for Easter weekend, hold a game of football. This year it's with Alvey, the Swans visiting over there. And I think it's a very appropriate planning of programming to have it on the Saturday. It's not on the Good Friday. But they have already played a match last week in this competition, the opener of the season last Saturday, when Alvey kicked 8-10-58 to beat Illawarra Biak 5 straight kicks 30. Traditional rivals, those two, and the two clubs just north of Colac. The Bomber Boys, Illawarra, no match in the end for the Swans. The Alvey Boys on the hill normally, but this was at Central Reserve in Colac, the match of the round last Saturday. Other matches for Colac District to get going: Apollo Bay play Otway Districts after Easter on Saturday, April the 10th for their opening game. Birregurra play Simpson. Also South Colac play Illawarra, and Western Eagles play Colac Imperials in their match to start their season. Other competitions this weekend which are playing over Easter. Good Friday is when Ararat play Stawell. This is the traditional game. This is to be played at Ararat, not at Stawell, but you know, of course, Stawell has its Stawell gift over the weekend. And it's part of, if you like, the programming for Wimmera football, where these two clubs traditionally have this hit out over the Easter weekend. My view is I'm not sure why they couldn't wouldn't have it on the Saturday instead of the Good Friday, but apparently it's tradition that it happens there. I think just in terms of people and the observance of Good Friday and the reason for the public holiday, programmers might have a think about that particular topic, but that's a view that we're going to have further discussion on this program. The other match to be played on Good Friday is the one between South Mildura and Arimple, this one at number 3 Oval in Mildura, and again it's scheduled for 2:30, the seniors match. It is following after the junior grade matches, which will also be played in the competition for round 1. So 9 o'clock in the morning, you've got kids having to get out there on Good Friday. Just sort of think that's not really quite in the fitting for the reason behind the holiday, but that's what the Sunraysia Football and Netball League have chose to do with their clash on Good Friday. So there's some of the competitions which we'll be playing this weekend, and we'll catch the views of Clayton Bester and the Statman too, joining me, the Flowman, on the Sports Fix.
They are always good, lively conversations that the three of us have when we talk sport. We sometimes agree to disagree, and sometimes we disagree about our agreements and then agree about our disagreements. They are just interesting conversations, and you can enjoy one of them tomorrow on the Easter Thursday edition of the Sports Fix, one that I recommend that you listen out for. And don't forget, the Flow Winter Sports Show is coming up in just over a week's time, Friday the 9th of April. We're all looking forward to it. The guys are all pumped. And even the correspondents, they're all saying, you've got me locked in. I want to talk about it. It's all going to be happening. So we're looking forward to the show when it kicks in, coming up on Friday week. So make sure you listen out for it. The Flow Winter Sports Show right across the Flow Network in South Australia, Victoria and New South Wales.